Compromising would be effective when one quickly achieves an expedient solution. You are again running out of time and you want a quick solution, you want to compromise. And as a backup, when collaboration and competition fail. You've tried, but collaboration didn't work, competition didn't work, so the only option you really have is to look at compromising. And how do you get to a compromising situation? Basic skills for conflict resolution. No matter what your style is, which one of the 5 styles you really possess, the basic skills for conflict resolution include manage anger. People get angry. When there's a conflict, anger rises. When anger rises, it needs to be controlled. It needs to be managed. Listen actively. Keep your ears open. Ask for clarity. Ask for any ambiguities to be cleared out. Make sure you understand what the other individual is saying from that individual's perspective. Avoid assumptions. Please don't assume. If you're not sure, ask for clarifications. Assumptions are no good in conflict management and conflict resolution. Find something on which to agree. Don't say no, no, no. If you've said 7 no's, at least say 1 yes. Find something that is agreeable mutually and then move on. Because if you continuously, constantly disagree, no solution will be reached and conflict will not be managed, neither will it be resolved. Be cautious with criticism. Criticism one has to learn to take as constructive, not negative. Negative criticism does not help anyone and it does not help solve a solution. Constructive criticism is absolutely what one needs. Learn from the criticism that somebody is making of you. Negotiate. You need to work out a deal. You need to negotiate. That's a critical skill, and we will look at that later. And get help. When you need help, ask for help. Sitting quietly, doing nothing is not going to solve the issue. Please get help. Your style and negotiation. Let's first look at what is negotiation. A discussion between 2 or more disputants who are trying to work out a solution to their problem. That's a discussion. 2 or more individuals all participating, talking, interacting because they want a common solution to the problem. Win-lose or win-win. In a successful negotiation, everyone wins. So you want to focus on win-win. But at some times, simply because of the human nature of the conflict, win-lose may happen. One individual wins, the other individual does not. The objective should be agreement, not victory. Do we agree? If you win and I lose, at least we all agree to it. It's not a victory for both of us, but at least both parties agree to this solution. Getting to yes, a basic negotiation framework. Negotiation happens and is successful when the other party or the other individual can say yes. So, separate the people from the problem. If you talk about the people, negotiation is not going to work. Negotiation is not about people, it's about the situation. It's about the conflict. So keep all your discussion and your dialogue to the conflict or the situation, not the person. Focus on interests, not positions. Just because the other party is higher up in the hierarchy, that's not what negotiation is going to help you achieve. You want to look at interest. What is the interest in this for the group, for the organization, for the individuals involved, and forget about the positions that the individuals currently hold. Generate a variety of options before deciding what to do. In negotiations, again, just like brainstorming, you want to list all the different options. Generate lots of options, then decide which one you want to actually use. Work for a result based on objective standards or criteria. You want to achieve something, but at what standard, at what level, under what criteria do you want that achieved? Separate the people from the problem. That was the first point. Perceptions. Put yourself in their shoes. Look at that individual from that individual's perspective. Wear that individual's shoes, fit in his or her shoes, and then see what that individual is going through. Separate your fears from their intentions. Their intentions and my fears may not be matched. They need to be separate. Yes, I can fear something. Their intentions may be very different from mine, but if I keep them together, negotiation is not going to happen. Don't blame them for your problem. If the problem really is mine, don't blame somebody else for it. It's not going to help negotiation. Accept the fact that yes, the problem belongs to you, and then negotiation will work out. Share the process and give others a stake. Share the process. Don't do everything yourself. Sharing, cooperating, working together benefits negotiation. Listen actively. Of course, we've said enough about this in this unit. Active listening is a critical skill. Save face. Proposals consistent with their values. You want to look at the proposals, what the other party is proposing, but you want to look at the values also. You don't want to blindly accept and say, this is good, or no, this is not worth it. Save face. Okay, look at the proposals in light of values. Recognize and understand emotions. Yes, people will be happy, people will be frustrated, people will be demotivated. Lots of positive and negative emotions will come into play during the process of negotiation. Recognize them and understand them. Speak purposefully to be understood. Don't debate. You are not in the process of negotiation for simple argument. You are there because there is a purpose, and the purpose is to negotiate. Build relationship to face the problem. Work together. Build a relationship. Develop interpersonal relationships so that you can work with other individuals even in opposing situations. Try to understand the interests behind the position. Why is this person saying that? What is this person's interest? Try to understand why. Reason out why the individual is doing what the individual is doing. Ask why and why not about choices. Why are you suggesting this? Why not try this? What is this? What is that? You need to get lots of questions answered in the process of negotiation. Make lists of multiple interests. Just like brainstorming, make a list. Don't erase anything. Continue making a list. If it's a long list, so much the better. You can always go back and evaluate the points or ideas on your list. Try to understand the impact of interest. If this is of interest to more people than just you, the impact will be greater. So try to understand the impact of the interest in the negotiation process. Be specific. Make interests come alive. You don't want general statements. You want specifics in negotiation. Make their interests part of the problem. What the other party is interested in, make that part of the problem too. That's the solution. That's the negotiation. That's the common ground you're looking for. Look forward, not back. As I said, you can't live life looking backwards. You live life looking forwards. What happened has happened. You can't change that. Okay? So you need to look forward. Then negotiation will be fruitful. Focus on interests, not positions. Be flexible, but specific. Don't be strong. Don't be a diehard. Be flexible. You want to let the other individuals see you as someone who takes in what other individuals are saying, incorporates that into the final negotiation statement. Be hard on the problem, soft on people. As we've said, separate the sin and the sinner. Be hard on the sin, be gentle and soft on the sinner. Avoid premature judgment. If you still need to talk, if you still need to carry on the conversation, do it. Don't make premature judgments. Single answers. One person's responses are no good in negotiation. You want multiple responses. Assuming a fixed pie, which means this is the solution. So if I come to the negotiation table with a fixed mindset of mine that says this is the solution, negotiation is not going to work. Assigning responsibility. Let's see what you can do. Assign the responsibility, delegate, let other individuals do what you normally end up doing. Brainstorm. Be expansive, flexible, and creative. Again, you need time to brainstorm, write everything down, make as long a list as you possibly can. Toggle between general and specific. This is too general, this is specific. Separate then what is general, what is specific, and because you want to deal with the specific. You don't want to waste time with the general trying to get to a negotiation. Consider the perspectives of various experts. Ask people, ask others what they think about it. Get feedback from the experts to help you in the negotiation process. Change the strength of options, scope, and duration. Change. Nothing is fixed. You don't have to go with the same thing issue after issue. The scope of the issue, the duration of the issue may be different, and therefore changing the strength of the options is also critical. The same options won't work even if the issue is the same. Identify shared interests, dovetail differing ones. Common interests, what you see people saying, and when people say the common things, that's what you want to focus on. When people say different things, you can keep that aside for a later discussion. Make the decision easy. Means let everybody understand why you're making this decision, why this ends up being a mutually accepted decision. A first draft should be yesable, which means the first draft people should still be able to correct. Shall we fix this? Yes. Do you think this needs modification? Yes. And then you actually go and fix it, make the modifications. Objective criteria provide a principled foundation. If you have a criteria for the negotiation, your foundation will be strong on which you build the negotiation. Criteria involve both outcomes and procedures. What procedures, what steps are you going to take, and what will be the end result? You want both the process and the end product. Frame issues as a joint search for criteria. We are all going to work together to establish the criteria. The criteria are not dictated by one individual or group. Reason and be open to reason. Give your reasons and accept the reasons of others also. Don't just yield to pressure. People may put pressure on you. Don't bow down to pressure. Stand your ground, particularly if you believe what you think is right. Preparing for negotiation. What do the parties want? You are the outsider, so what do the two parties want? You have to know that. What can be traded? What can one party give up, and what can the other party give up in order to gain something? Something will need to be traded. Negotiation requires a give and take. What are the alternatives to agreement? If we don't come to an agreement, what are the alternatives? What else can we do? If we don't come up to a negotiated agreement, something else must be worked out. What is that something else going to be? How does the relationship affect negotiations? The two parties, the two differing parties, the two parties in conflict, how does the relationship affect the negotiations? What can be expected based on the past? What do you know of the past of these two parties? Can you expect something? Positive, negative, good, neutral, whatever it might be? What's at stake? Consequences on both sides. What is it that each side could lose in the process of negotiation? What are the power issues involved between the two parties? That's also important because the stronger power may have the upper hand. What are the possible compromises? Creative options. Where will we need to give in? Where can we bring in creative and unique ideas and new things to experiment with? What are the conflict styles of the negotiating parties? Are the two parties having the same conflict style? Differing conflict styles? Are both the strong conflict styles? Are both weak conflict styles? All that will make a difference at the negotiation table. Know yourself. What feelings do you have when you are in a conflict situation? Understand yourself. When you yourself are involved in a conflict, there can be anger, there can be frustration, there can be fear, there can be excitement. Do you see that 3 of those feelings or emotions are negative? So in a conflict, that is a given. That's why the conflict is there. Understanding these different emotions helps understand what you need to do at the negotiating table.